Hello friends, we are here with another video. Today we are looking at British foods that seem weird to Americans. So if you're British or American, that's awesome. You'd love this video. If not, you'll still enjoy. So we're going to watch this together. I'm also British. Well, I'm half British, half Cypriot, so I'm a half-half. I'm not sure if my accent is quite the British. You guys know. But it is what it is. And let's get right onto the video. Don't forget to hit that like button and let's get it.
Possible by NordVPN. Take control of your internet experience today. Go to nordvpn.com/top10s. The United States and Great Britain are two countries separated by a common language has been attributed to George Bernard Shaw, though it does not appear in any of his known writings. Another from Oscar Wilde's The Canterville Ghost claims, "We have really everything in common with America nowadays, except, of course, language." Both gentlemen overlooked another distinct gap between Americans and their British cousins. That gap is cuisine. Some foods, both popular and common in the United Kingdom, are viewed with dismay in America. In fairness, some of the foods are merely hung with monikers which render them strange to American ears and thus are absent from American plates. Others, however, are considered less palatable.
Ooh, what is that?
Ingredients used.
So we got Yorkshire puddings. Is that lamb, broccoli, potatoes? I think this is sweet potatoes. And the gravy on top. That is an English dinner.
Most meat-eating Americans share with the British a love of roast beef and Yorkshire pudding, similar to popovers. The same Americans view other
That's what we'll be having for Christmas.
popular British foods and dishes with rolled eyes and wrinkled noses, astonished that anyone would consider eating such concoctions. In the video today, 10 popular British foods considered weird by Americans.
Let's get it.
Spotted dick. The obvious double entendre of its
Okay, I do not know that one.
eyebrows and a secondary name for the dessert spotted dog does little to whet the appetite as well. The references to both dick and dog are from early dialects in Britain and refer to pudding. The dessert is not a pudding in the American sense, but rather a cake, one made with plums, but more commonly found today with dried raisins, currants, or other fruit. The fruit accounted for the spots of its...
Oh, I've had this before. Did not really like it. I'm sorry, but if you like this, I'm sorry, I don't.
Cake for the pudding, or dick. Traditionally, the fat used to make spotted dick came from suet, the hard fat surrounding the kidneys from beef or mature sheep. Recipes for the dessert have been traced to the mid-19th century in British cookbooks and guides for housewives, though it never appeared to have achieved popularity in the United States. Though modern recipes often substitute other fats for the suet, such as butter, traditional recipes for the dish can be found online. By the way, in recognition of the somewhat bawdy interpretation of its name, in 2009, Flintshire County Council in Wales renamed the dish Spotted Richard. Number 9. Black pudding. Black pudding appears to the eye as a type of sausage traditionally made from the blood of slaughtered animals. The blood from beef, pork, and sheep is mixed with ground fat or suet and cereals such as oatmeal or groats. Herbs and spices were added, including mint, thyme, and pennyroyal. The modern-day version available in British markets is made entirely from pork blood, and usually the cereal used is oats or barley. Records of sausages called black puddings date to the mid-15th century, and there is evidence of a similar dish made in an earthenware pot rather than...
That reminds me of dog food. Look at it. Doesn't that remind you of dog food? Or cat food?
A sausage casing preceding them. The sausages in Britain's stores and shops are pre-cooked and popular eaten cold, grilled, fried, boiled, or baked. Often it is sliced, fried, and served for breakfast, though it is also served whole as part of a meal, particularly in the Black Country, the Midlands, and in Scotland and Ireland. Similar sausages are also popular in Australia. They are also sometimes used to make Scotch eggs. For those objecting to blood sausage, British shops offer white pudding, a similar sausage made without using the processed blood of slaughtered hogs. Number 8. Jellied eels. Eels long served
Jellied
as a staple in
eels.
the British diet, particularly in London, where the Thames teemed with them. In the early 18th century, anyone could fish for eels in the Thames, provided they had a net with which to catch them. Other British streams produced eels as well. Shops featuring eel pies and mash appeared in the 1700s, and another dish made from the fish, jellied eels, soon followed. They remained popular through the 20th century.
This is some kind of fish.
Acquired the panache of a delicacy rather than a popular cheap food for the urban poor. Jellied eels are made by chopping the cleaned fish into pieces, rounds which are boiled in water, flavoured with vinegar, nutmeg and lemon juice. The eels release gelatin into the water during the boiling. The eel is then cooled in the water, which solidifies into jelly, and the entire gelatinous goo is packaged for consumption. Today there are fewer eel houses in London, and jellied eel fans find their delicacy in supermarkets and delicatessens, or they can resort to making their own. Number 7.
Okay, I've never tried that one before. If you have, I'm not sure if it's good. You could let me know.
Periwinkles. Periwinkles have long been popular.
Ooh, that looks
So along the
weird as well.
They are small shellfish, similar to snails, which the French across the Channel eats with Gaelic aplomb. The British call periwinkles simply winkles, and though they are somewhat challenging to eat since they must be extracted from the shell, they remain a widely ingested food item in the United Kingdom. In British coastal shops, they're served in paper bags with a pin with which to extract the little beast from the shell that's attached to it. To be fair, they are also popular in New England and in the American Northwest. It is widely believed, though unproven.
Okay, I've had snails before. They are lovely. Snails with lemon. Oh, that is just insane. But I've never tried this one.
The periwinkles came to America by being attached to the rock ballast once carried in sailing ships. When the ballast was dumped into the sea off the American coast, the tiny snails found a new environment to their liking and flourished. They are fished by towed dredges or by simply wading through the water and picked by hand and deposited into a bucket. Number 6. Stargazy Pie. Sardines and pilchards are interchangeable names for a variety of small fish of the herring family. Under either name, they are definitely an acquired taste. People generally love them or loathe them for their oily texture, fishy taste and smell. Fishing for pilchards was once a thriving industry in Cornwall, where for over 130 years the fish were caught with seines packed in hogsheads and exported to Europe. The industry died out in the late 19th century, but a uniquely Cornish dish, Stargazy Pie, survived. It is especially popular in Tom Borcock's Eve, a festival local to Mousehole in Cornwall. Stargazy Pie is a pie made with pilchards, other fish, and various ingredients according to the whims of the baker. Boiled eggs, potatoes, vegetables, bacon, mutton, and other foods are often found in the pie. What makes it unique is the heads of the fish that are arranged to protrude through the pastry crust as they are stargazing.
That is a weird one.
As well. A stargazy
Having pastry on the head of the fish just sticking out of the pastry. Wow.
pie contains baked sardines which stare at the diner as he prepares to enjoy.
Oh, I love
Can't
sardines.
understand why this one never gained popularity in America.
Sardines
But
on
you know
toast.
What should be gaining popularity with you? Well, that would be today's sponsor, NordVPN. If you're online, you really must be using a VPN, and that's where NordVPN comes in. I know it's tempting not to bother, sort of just hope for the best, but those stories you read on
We'll skip this.
based in the EU or the US, Marmite. Marmite is a
Marmite. Oh my god. Marmite. Marmite is just insane. Love the texture of it. Having it on toast. Just so good. So good.
essence, concentrated brewer's yeast, high in B vitamins, and almost overwhelmingly salty in taste.
True.
It's used as a flavouring in many dishes. It's also stirred into boiling water to create a hot beverage. During World War I,
Like sometimes when I put the Marmite on my toast, like literally I cannot eat the whole thing after how rich the taste is. It's unbelievable, but it's really good.
it was issued to British troops, where it acquired its most popular use, spread on crackers or toast, or any form of bread, sometimes accompanied with butter. During World War II, it was fed to German prisoners of war as a source of vitamins. Marmite developed a solid base of fans who appeared nearly addicted to the stuff, and an equally devoted group who find it disgusting. Unilever, which owns the brand, took advantage of the dispute in an advertising campaign in the 1990s, adopting the slogan, "Love it or hate it." Number 4, laver bread. The first thing to consider about laver bread is that it isn't bread at all, though toasted bread is often served alongside it at the table. Laver bread is traditionally served in Wales. It consists of boiled seaweed, though not just any seaweed. The seaweed is harvested in the shallow coastal waters of the Irish Sea and is known to the Welsh as slake. The slake is first harvested, then washed repeatedly, then boiled until it assumes the texture of a mushy, somewhat gooey paste. That's when it's
No,
ready.
thank you.
It's often eaten as is, with accompaniments such as bread, and it's also sometimes rolled in oats and then pan-fried to be eaten at breakfast. At other meals, it is eaten as a cold salad.
Okay, I would try this, but from the looks of it, doesn't look so good.
As a side dish. The Welsh also enjoy laverbread as the main course, sometimes supplemented with boiled bacon. Yep, boiled bacon. The actor and famed diamond purchaser Richard Burton extolled the virtues of laverbread when he referred to it in an interview as the Welshman's caviar. Number 3. Haggis. Scotland is credited, perhaps blamed is a better word, for giving the world haggis, though dishes prepared with similar ingredients in the same manner appear throughout the world. Cooking of the offal of an animal using its stomach as the cooking vessel was a common means of eating during a hunt. The Scots version consisted of chopping up the heart, lungs, and liver of a sheep, known as the pluck. It is then combined with onions, suet, oats, and whatever spices are available, placed in the sheep's stomach and boiled. Supermarkets in Scotland offer prepared haggis.
It looks very interesting. I've never heard of it before, but that looks like an interesting meal.
Often in artificial casings rather than a sheep's stomach. It is popular in pubs, fast food restaurants, and even in Indian restaurants throughout Scotland. Technically, haggis is illegal in the United States due to its containing lung, and importing haggis is not allowed. Some American companies make their own versions which do not contain lung and which are always offered in artificial casings. They can be boiled, baked, or fried. A large supply of another product of Scotland's Scotch whisky may be of use when contemplating the consumption of this one. Number 2. Scotch Eggs. Fortnum & Mason, a London department store, has long claimed to have invented the Scotch egg
Eggs.
in 1738. They were simple enough: hard or soft-boiled eggs wrapped in ground meat or sausage, then quickly fried. They were intended to provide a quick meal or snack for travellers or working men, though few of the latter could afford the upscale prices offered by the store. The store included the eggs in some of the various hampers they sold containing several prepared foods. They were quickly popular and have remained so ever since.
I think I've had this before when I was a kid. It reminds me of something, and I think they are good. If it reminds me of something, then that means it's good.
What makes them slightly weird to the eye is the unlimited variety of the sausage in which the eggs were wrapped. Scotch eggs can be made using black pudding, haggis, and
That looks
sausages
amazing.
and puddings. Sometimes pickled eggs are substituted, as in the Worcester
This video is making me incredibly hungry. I'm totally eating.
version, in which an egg pickled in Worcestershire sauce is wrapped in white pudding. The Manchester version uses a more traditionally pickled egg and wraps it in black pudding. How the snack came to be known as the Scotch egg, since it was supposedly invented in a London store, has been the subject of debate ever since they first appeared, with little progress being made towards a satisfactory answer. Number 1. Bubble and Squeak. There is really very little weird about
Bubble and Squeak? The name sounds weird. The food looks weird. What is this?
Squeak, other than its name, the source of which remains in dispute. The oldest known recipe for the dish appeared in 1806. In the late 19th century, it became a popular means of using the leftovers from a roast dinner, and thus is comprised of potatoes and cabbage, though other vegetables, including onions, carrots, and even peas, are often added. They are fried together until browned to a crust, often served as a side dish for breakfast or brunch. The Scottish version has an even stranger name, Rumple to Thumps, while the Irish version is called Colcanon. There is a reference to a dish of beef and cabbage fried together called Bubble and Squeak in the Classical Dictionary of the Vulgar Tongue 1785 edition. The book, which was a collection of slang terms, is the earliest known mention of the name. Bubble and Squeak is probably the strangest name on this list for food, though it's also probably the least weird of the dishes here, but it's all a matter of taste, really. So I really hope you found that video interesting.
That was all, my friends, for today's video. Some very interesting foods in that one. I'm sure it made many of you hungry, so go get yourself something to eat, because that's what I'm going to be doing right after this. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you enjoy, and we'll be seeing you on the next video. Peace out.